which says that there is a church in the wilderness, Sister Luz. Let us read from the book of Acts chapter 7, verses 37 and 38, which says,
This is that Moses, which said unto the children of Israel, A prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me, him shall ye hear. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness, with the angel which spake to him in the Mount Sinai, and with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give unto us.
You see, if you have noticed, Sister Luz, the word that was spoken by Saint Stephen in this particular verse, this is the Moses that was in the church in the wilderness, with the angel which spake to him in Mount Sinai, and with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give unto us. This is a very great information to consider, Sister Luz.
Yes.
That the word church is not only used during the time of our Lord Jesus Christ. See?
Yes.
The meaning or the essence of the word church is also used in that congregation in the wilderness. That's why the Bible calls it the church in the wilderness. And Moses was there. You see, there is a very great difference in time from Moses to the time of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Thousands of years, Sister Luz. Thousands of years before Jesus Christ, our Lord said that I will build my church. There was already a church existing, and that is in the wilderness of Sinai with Moses there. And with the angel who spake to him at Mount Sinai. See that?
Yes.
How will you now believe, or how will you now assert that the start of the church is only when our Lord Jesus Christ have established it or have built it? It is not. Because thousands of years before the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ in the flesh, there was already a church existing in the wilderness. And that is the people of Israel. The congregation of Israel, which were gathered at the foot of Mount Sinai with Moses as their leader. They are called by Stephen
As the church.
an authority of faith in the scriptures as a church. In fact, it was called the church in the wilderness. Now, the word church is of Greek origin, which is ecclesia in Greek, but there is a Hebrew synonym to that word.
And what's that, Brother Eli?
The congregation in Israel is called in the Hebrew Bible as Kauhal. Let us read from the book of Psalms, chapter 22, verse 22, which says in English,
It says, I will declare thy name unto my brethren. In the midst of the congregation will I praise thee.
see, I will declare thy name unto my brethren. In the midst of the congregation will I praise thee. That is the Psalm of David. Sister Luz. Now, what is that congregation wherein he is going to praise, Sister Luz, the name of the Lord? In the Greek, if we are going to take that word congregation that was translated in English, in Greek it is kauhal. Let us put that on our screen. 6951, that is kauhal, which means assemblage, usually concretely, assembly, company, congregation, multitude. See? That is the congregation of the people of Israel, kauhal, which is synonymous to the word church in Greek. So, before our Lord Jesus Christ was born in the flesh, and before he established or he built the church, in his time, there was already a church, or a kauhal, in the time
wilderness.
of Moses. Rightfully, it was called by Stephen the church in the wilderness. So, we must be reminded of these things so that we will not be misled as to the claim of other pastors that the church only existed during the time of our Lord Jesus Christ. There was already a church in the time of Moses. In fact, there is another information in the New Testament that will tell us that there is already a church really before the Christian era. In the book of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 23, it says,
to the general assembly and church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven.
See, this is an information that we can get from the Apostle Paul. There is a general assembly and church of the firstborn written in heaven, according to Paul. Church of the firstborn. You see, Sister Luz, when we use the word firstborn, it means that there is no other church which came first in existence before this.
Yes.
The fact that it is the church of the firstborn, this is the first church.
Yes. There's nothing prior it.
Yes. No, so, the church of the firstborn is surely the first church
Yes, of course.
that have existed. And what is that church of the firstborn? Let us read from Exodus chapter 4, verse 22.
And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, Thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn.
See, what is the firstborn? It is the
Israel.
congregation of Israel. Israel is my son, even my firstborn. Thou shalt declare unto Pharaoh, Thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. What does it mean? Because Moses commanded by God to liberate the Israelites from the bondage in Egypt. And he should approach the Pharaoh and ask for the liberty of these people, which is the people of Israel. Of course, he is not speaking of the literal Israel, which is Jacob.
Of
Because
course. Yes.
Jacob is already dead by that time that Moses was sent by God to Pharaoh. He is speaking of the congregation of Israel. And he said, my firstborn. Israel is my firstborn. So, Israel is the church of the firstborn.
Yes.
Sister Luz. It is a church. It is church of the firstborn. It is the church in the wilderness, which existed before the time of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Yes.
So, it is now clear in the scriptures that the church started not during the time of our Lord Jesus Christ, but during the time of Moses. In fact, they were called in the Bible as the church in the wilderness and the church of the firstborn. Is that clear, sister?
That's clear, Brother Eli.
So this story goes back thousands of years before our Lord Jesus Christ. And this will make it a very important thing to consider, Sister Luz. So, if you are going to consider these facts, sisters, these are biblical facts, of course. These are not inventions of our minds or our thinking. This can be read from the scriptures that even before the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ in the flesh, the church have already existed.
Yes.
And who caused the existence of this church? Who assembled them? You see, remember the word kauhal is an assemblage.
Yes.
Who assembled them in the wilderness of Sinai that they were called the church in the wilderness? Whose will is that? Of course, that is very clear. It's obvious that it is the will of God. It was God who commanded Moses to free them from
Egypt.
Egypt, and they were brought by Moses on the instruction of God to Mount Sinai to receive the covenants there after 40 days and 40 nights of
Fasting.
speaking with God. Moses received the covenant to be given to the people of Israel. Let us read that from the scriptures. We do not just tell stories, we read them from the scriptures. In the book of Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 1 onwards, it says,
And Moses called all Israel, and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your ears this day,